Hello YNAB Nation, my name is Jesse Meekum from You Need a Budget. Yes, you do. And this is another Whiteboard Wednesday. Today, I want to talk about Rule 3. We've gone through 1, give every dollar a job. 2, save for a rainy day, those larger, less frequent expenses. Break them up into monthly amounts and make this kind of cash flow situation more like this kind of cash flow situation. Now Rule 3, we call it rolling with the punches. In boxing, when an opponent throws a punch, you back up, you roll with the punch, you go the same direction as the punch so that it lessens the blow. It's the same idea here. When life throws you a punch, you roll with it. And that just means, put simply, you can change your budget whenever you want. For whatever reason. Hopefully, those reasons are all in line with Rule 1, and you're also weighing Rule 2, where you've got larger expenses that need to be dealt with in the now as well. But with Rule 1 and 2 being followed, Rule 3 is totally up to you, up to your ideals and your priorities and how you want to change things around. The key is that you don't feel bad about it. It's encouraged. So, to illustrate this rule, I came up with several different metaphors. The first one is, we use this in classes sometimes, you are planning a beach trip and you're going to head to the beach and you see the forecast and it's 75 and beautiful, low is 70, high is 75, sunny, everyone's happy. And then on the 5-day forecast, or 7 days, what I did here, day 3 is 42, low 40, and rain, right? And we just have rain every single day. And you've already said, I'm going to go to the beach. We're planning on going to the beach. The family's excited to go to the beach. We decided we would go to the beach 3 weeks ago. And now, gosh, we've got this bad weather. What does that mean? Does that mean that you still go to the beach? Do you sit out in the rain and it's freezing and you're not having any fun at all? Or does it mean that you change your plans a little bit? So because you got new information from a highly regarded weatherman, then you just change your plans. You say, well, it's going to rain the whole week, so we're going to do something different, something indoors. You roll with the punches. Number 2, your sister calls you and says, hey, we're coming over. Can we stay for a few days? You say, of course. But your sister has 6 growing teenage boys, right? And they eat a ton and they're going to eat you out of house and home. And you budgeted $300 for groceries, and suddenly those $300 will not be sufficient. You don't say, no, sister, you can't come. You say, bring your own food. Or you can roll with the punches, find a category with a little extra, and pull that back out, add it to your grocery budget, and feed those strapping young men. Metaphor number 3, it's halftime. You all would be screaming at the coach that said, after laying out this perfect game plan, where they had looked at their opponent's weaknesses, what they could exploit, their own strengths, how they could use those to their advantage. They did this big analysis, they looked at game film, and everything looked perfect, like they had just set up their budget for the month, where they had just put all of their money from that paycheck. They'd given every dollar a job, and they're feeling really good. That's the coach's game plan. And then as soon as the buzzer goes off and the game starts, the coach is immediately thinking of adjustments that she should make. And that's the idea here. In coaching, with any sport or anything, you make adjustments based on new information that's presented. And in budgeting, it's the exact same. So at halftime, you make halftime adjustments. We do the same thing in the budgeting world, and it works really well. To do anything else would be crazy. To sit there and say that you didn't now have better information that you did before, that's insane. You have better information. So you take that better information, having seen what your opponent will do, or seeing how your finances have taken a turn that you didn't expect, and you roll with it. You just adjust. And you feel good about it, not bad. You're being proactive. That's a good thing. You're not being weak and changing your mind. That's nothing like that at all. Finally, my final metaphor, number 4, is chess. So if I were to say I'm going to open with e4, I'm going to do like a Ruy Lopez opening, right? That's very standard. And then someone else might counter with like a French defense, or the Sicilian defense is super popular, right? So based on how my opponent responds to every single move I make, I respond back. To do anything else would be crazy, right? You wouldn't have a grandmaster sit there and say, no, I've got my game plan and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to open with the Ruy Lopez and I'm going to stick to it. Instead, you would see that your opponent did something wrong that you could exploit. Maybe there's an opportunity for your money. Maybe you see a great buy for something that you'll need 3 months down the road. You didn't budget for it right away, but there's an opportunity, so you're going to exploit it. So you buy that thing for half off or 75% off, or you see it at a garage sale or whatever it is. Same with this grandmaster. Their opponent makes a mistake, so they jump on it. They don't stick to their same game plan knowing that it's e4 and then whatever ever after that. So that's the idea with the budgeting. It's flexible, you're adaptable, you're changing. You're like the best general, right? That sees all this information and then can say, oh, okay, we have new data here, let's do this. Oh, we've got information here and we've got this info from the field and we're going to send artillery this way and going to move this line over here and outflank our opponent. Outflank your opponent, right? As you get new information, see how you can take advantage of those things. And sometimes when you get knocked back and things don't go your way, and that happens all the time because we're all alive, right? When that happens, you just roll with it. Yeah, you move in the same direction as that punch. You say, hey, I thought we'd only spend $600 on groceries. It ended up being $800. That's okay. You just adjust. You embrace reality. You try and do what you can to change things over time. But in the end, you just roll with it and change things as you need to. You are the best coach. You are the grandmaster. You are the, not weatherman, but you're the vacationer. And you are the poor soul that has to feed all those hungry, hungry boys on short notice. So, key point, changing your mind is okay. Once you've set your budget, it's not in stone, it's in something much more malleable. And I can't think of anything at the moment. We encourage changing your budget. So, there you have it. A budget is not restrictive and rigid. It's flexible and adaptable based on your needs. I'll see you guys next time.